Alright, let's ride, y'all.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here we go now. Alright. Good evening, all my folks. Welcome world, welcome to night. It's another episode of Tuesday Night Tech. Samsung Night Nation, stand up. Tech World, stand up. This is the original Night Rider, the Hellraiser himself, Mr. O once again. And I said I was going to be back, and here I am. As I like to talk about one of my favorite subjects and one of my favorite passions, and that happens to be tech, because after all, this is the 21st century, age of Aquarius, and we're living in the age of information and technology. And not only like this, I speak to only my people, but I'm speaking to all the tech heads, all the tech geeks out there. You know, I'm alright with what it comes to do, but you know, I'm not one of these guys that be on YouTube that's a self-proclaimed tech blogger and all this other stuff like that. But I talk about what I know, because everything that I've got, I buy for it. I pay with my own money. I buy it on my own, and I buy what works for me. And mostly anybody that know me know I'm very pro Samsung. So just to let you know on that. But that doesn't exclude me from everything else that's going on in the tech world. Doesn't exclude me from other OEMs or other brands. But right now, you know, just to get that out the way, I want to go ahead and I want to get to the one thing that has been creeping up on that's been creeping lately, and with good reason it has been creeping. But it's good though. It's real good. And that's coming from the home team over in South Korea. And that's Samsung, of course. And you know, like the Note 7 recall and the Note 7 recall and everything so forth has been taken care of. Let's just say it's over, because right now, let's get this out the way right now. I'm getting sick and damn tired of seeing all these old BS memes and these tactics with the guy wearing a bomb suit charging up his Note 7, to the idiot that posts a picture of his Note 7 charging on the nightstand and the water fire extinguisher next to it. I mean, look, I'm all good for comedy, I'm all good for jokes and all that, but a little bit of it is too much. Plus these blatant lies and exaggerating things coming out about Note 7s exploding. Just right now in China, a guy said that his safe, in quote, safe Note 7 exploded, and it did damage to his MacBook Pro. More lies, and it needs to stop, okay? But despite the fact Samsung stepped up to the plate, they handled their business like the G's that they should, and they sent out replacement ones. And even the people who bought the original ones, I've heard from my constituents and certain fellow associates that they haven't had no problems with it though. But then again, it's understandable. It's understandable. Oh, shout out to the one of the best writers there in the tech field right now from Sam Mobile. Give a shout out to Deidre Richardson for tuning in live, man. You know, not only she's one of the authoritarian on Samsung, and they work closely with Samsung, but she is one of us. And more importantly, though, that's family right there in more ways that you can imagine. So, to all my fellow Samsung Knights, I know y'all listening in, or anybody that's listening in and tuned in, they can go into the chat room right now and give a shout out right there. Chat room is open for effects. Deidre, Glenn, Mark, Omar, Alex, Hakim, Kevin, April, Sheraton, everybody that's listening on this now, listening on it, because I'm about to go in. Back on topic though. Despite the fact that all these exaggerated stories, because come to find out, a lot of those claims, 26 of them Samsung found out happened to be false. I said this from jump. A lot of these claims are bullshit. Especially the one everybody kept telling me about what happened here in my home state, my home territory of Florida, in St. Petersburg, about the guy's 2005 Jeep Cherokee, garbage car, that exploded or burnt up because of his Note 7 was charged up in there. Well, the St. Petersburg Fire Department, as well as Samsung investigators, have come to a conclusion, and they investigated it thoroughly, that there's no link between his truck sitting on his SUV, more importantly, set on fire, and not the Note 7. There's been no link, no connection. See what's happening, people? And I guarantee you, them other 25 of them and a few more red flags are going to start popping up. Like that chick from Amazon who claimed her S7 Edge exploded and she got third-degree burns. Or the people up there in Brooklyn, New York with the 6-year-old. Sorry what happened to the 6-year-old. And her parents lied, talking about saying it was a Note 7 that did it. But it came to find out, it turned out to be a Galaxy Core Prime, a 2014 device. Okay? See, the point is, you got people out there, some people out there are very, very, very dishonest and they're always scheming, trying to get compensated for something from a company that hasn't really done nothing to nobody but bring the best in innovation and the best in tech. And despite all the fact, this is good news from what I'm getting ready to read right now. And this came from Talk Android, so I got this through Appy Geek on my news feed. Yes, I subscribe to them a lot. That despite the fact the problems are not turning off people to buying the Galaxy Note 7. See, I know who was behind this. Now, you can say I'm sitting up here with my tinfoil hat on and stuff, but I bet you any amount of money, I bet you my bottom dollar in my paycheck, that it happened to be them clowns over there from Cupertino to sabotage and try to slander Samsung's name. Because all this did come out right before the time of the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, which, by the way, is having their own little discrepancies, but I'm gonna get on them later. Let me get on the topic right here. Samsung Galaxy Note 7 problems are not turning buyers off. Now, with all the challenges related to Samsung's launch of the Galaxy Note 7 this year, many people was concerned that it could have had a severe impact on the company's performance now and moving forward. Now, we have uncovered rumors of Samsung possibly moving up the Galaxy S8 release to offset the financial impact. For the record, this ain't gonna hurt Samsung. However, according to information released by Samsung today, and they took a survey, they always keep their ear to the streets. Consumers do not seem to be dissuaded from sticking with Samsung, and demands appears to still be high for the Galaxy Note 7. In other words, in layman terms, Galaxy Note fever is at an all-time high. Who cares about a goddamn Zika virus when you got the Note 7 fever? People still want that phone. And for good doggone reason. Since its inception in 2011, the Galaxy Note has been one of the most sought after handsets of all times, made by Samsung. 2011, a lot of people laughed at Samsung saying, oh, ain't nobody gonna buy a phone that big with a stick with a stylus. Nobody does that anymore. Well, 6 years later into the game, it's the king of all phablets. or in this case, the queen of all phablets, due to the dual curve 5.7 Quad HD Super AMOLED display. I tell you, I know the haters right now are probably tying a chunk of concrete around their necks and jumping in the dang lake. And there's plenty of them over on Google+ and on YouTube. Anyway, let's go continue. G.J. Cole, president of Samsung Mobile's communication business, noted that in the first week of the replacement program, progress is encouraging. Customer response is highlighted by some of the following statistics. 90% of Galaxy Note 7 users are opting to get a new Galaxy Note 7 and stick with not just Samsung, but this particular device, FTW. And for the US and Korean markets, 60% of the recalled devices have been exchanged through the program already. 60% and climbing. Now in Singapore, the numbers of consumers participating in the exchange program is already over 80%. Woo! Now Cole also went on to note that Samsung is humbled by our customers' loyalty to the Galaxy Note 7 device. In their notice, Samsung says the recall was due to an isolated battery issue that caused the company to work hard to reduce the inconvenience for customers. This also meant that with regulatory bodies in the countries where Samsung has been selling the device. Now the figure for buyers sticking with the Galaxy Note 7, which is 90% by the way, is especially good news for Samsung. In all likelihood, those buyers were probably the early adopters who have been waiting for the release on the device. So they were already fans. The ones who bought, and I know most of my nights have went on August 19th and went and copped that beauty. So, give yourselves a hat tip for y'all for doing that. And to anybody else that's a Samsung fan, give yourselves a hat tip for doing that. I mean, we really appreciate that loyalty like that and the love like that. So Samsung has been pleased that an overwhelming majority of them are sticking with the Galaxy Note 7 despite the troubles and will carry on with their fandom. So let's talk about this. What's there not to like about the Galaxy Note 7? I mean, if you got a Galaxy S7 Edge, or if you got the S6 Edge Plus, or the S6 Edge, or even the handset I got, the Note 5, still America's favorite phone, by the way, what's there not to like? The experience has been overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I haven't got my upgrade yet, but that's for me to know, y'all to find out. So, I mean, what's there not to like about it? Beautifully designed, premium quality. The colors are banging. Even the black onyx stealth mode. A few things I wish Samsung would do, hopefully in the weeks and months to come for the Note 7. And this is going to request, especially for one of my fellow brethrens. We love the faux colors. We love the colors of the black onyx, the silver titanium, and my personal favorite, the blue coral. But Samsung, if you're listening, and Deidre, if you're listening, run this by Sam Mobile. Do y'all think y'all could bring the gold platinum Note 7 over to the US stateside? I'm pretty sure that will hit well over here in this market too. If you can. That's one thing I would love to see that happen. But that blue coral is the one though. That's the one. I mean, like I say, what's there not to like? It's the best-selling handset out there. And I said this a long time ago, the Note 7 was going to mop the floor with everything. Which brings me to take a trip right now to Cupertino, California. And let's talk about the a-holes over there at Apple. Now, we've seen it all. It was all over the news, all over social media, how the imbeciles were lined up, camped out in front of the store. In fact, posted up behind the back of the store, back of a mall, in front of an alligator-infested canal here in my home city here in Miami, waiting for a phone which basically hasn't changed much in the past decade. The iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. Now, I'm not even finna go into the specs with you, but I'm just gonna go and do it. They still rocking the same dumbass display that they had since 2007, since their inception. Yes, it's done got bigger with the 7 and the 7 Plus, 5.5 inch for the 7 Plus and 4.7 for the 7 inch for the 7. Still rocking the same old raggedy ass IPS display. Come on, Apple. In the famous words of Bill Maher, Apple just need to stop do everybody a favor. They want to be innovative. Stop making iPhones. Gee, you know what I'm saying? And then what turns a lot of people off, people that I know, friends of mine I know, that they got iPhones, they turned off from the fact that they took the headphone jack off. Talk about that's innovative. Huh. Yeah, you made it waterproof and dustproof. Took you long enough. You're late to the game as usual. And then, like on the iPhone 7 Plus, you put not one, but two cameras on the back of the phone. And then giving a quad LED flash. Wow. Way to go and blind your subjects before you take the picture. And the picture still don't come out right. One aperture more than the other. In one lens more than the other lens. First it was iOS 10. You had issues with that. Now, people are starting to say they talk about Samsung, they talking about the Note 7. Apple don't even acknowledge the fact that they got this hissing problem. And then, now I'm just getting word saying that they having the problems with their batteries. Seems like y'all ain't the only ones having batteries. See, Apple kept this under wraps, but I found out through reliable sources. They keeping this under wraps. Now they having the same battery problem. Oh, by the way, did I mean to tell y'all? And I know you iSheep and you trolls are gonna get mad. I really don't care. The battery for the iPhone 7 is a 1920 milliamp. Yeah, way to go on that longer battery life. Never have it, never will. And the 7 Plus battery is gonna be a 2910 milliamp battery. And what's the milliamp battery on the Galaxy Note 7 and the S7 Edge? Somewhere between 35 and 3600 milliamps. Gee, Apple, you got all this crap put up in there. And let's talk about the two new colors y'all got. Black and jet black. Whew. Is it me or does Apple look like they were just going full racial or something? I don't know. I hate to bring that in there, but I'm not finna go there right now. Just the mention of them just gets me upset because they do some stupid stuff. Removing the headphone jack. And then you come with this little raggedy little dongle. Oh, God, Apple. They're just forcing people just to go ahead to use Bluetooth. I mean, Bluetooth headphones are nice. They're convenient. Nothing wrong with that. Frees your hand. But at the same time, let's be real with it. Yes, you must rocking Bluetooth 4.0. But some people still like them old school 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks. That wide headphone. It's just convenient. Different strokes for different folks. That's all I got to say, Apple. With y'all. But here's the thing that y'all's really screwed up on. You still don't have wireless charging. You still don't have a bigger battery. Two things that a lot of Android OEMs are already on top of doing that. And don't even get me started with them. But now y'all don't want to acknowledge this little hissing problem. Y'all don't want to acknowledge the little small batteries. They're overheating. They're getting so hot right now that you can't even hold the sucker in your hand. And I know people's hands are burning, especially if you got that jet black one, if the battery gonna be like that. Whew. Yeah. So all you jokers that made your little puns about Samsung when the Note 7 and all that, they weathered the storm. Samsung nice, they stood tall in the paint with that regardless, weathered the storm. It's like a sequoia tree, man. You ain't gonna get rid of it. But leave it to Apple, and then once again the idiots runs right out there and they go spend that money. I mean, paying close to $1,200 for a iPhone 7 Plus 256 gigabyte, which will run you from every carrier if you buying it straight up like $939 something dollars plus tax. So you know you gonna pay like close to $1,200 if you buying anything else, especially the Apple Care protection, which don't work. And you know, I just don't get it. But here's the kicker, as I said before my last Tuesday Night Tech episode, Apple and Samsung are the only two OEMs that are making money off their handsets. Where you got other brands like LG, Huawei, Motorola, HTC, and all these other cats are just like, no way. No freaking way. But I'm gonna go on through that and so forth. But what I do want to talk about, like, if you're looking for tablets, now there's been a slew of tablets that's coming out. Samsung, you know, Samsung's got the Tab S2. They're coming out with another tablet that's going to have a tablet that's going to have a stylus, S Pen, just much like you see on the Note 7. Apple, they got their iPad, they got their iPad Pro, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm impressed with the iPad Pro. Huawei got the MateBook, but I specifically want to target like the Windows tablets. I've paid a visit, and I'll be visiting again. I'll be going live on scene at the Microsoft store. That'll be at Aventura Mall. And to go ahead and do, me, Mr. O always do his reconnaissance and does his thing. That's my job, and be checking out. I'm checking out a couple of Windows tablets myself, and the one that I've kind of like really fell in love with, not only by two I fell in love with, Samsung's Galaxy Tab Pro S and Microsoft Surface Pro. Now my boy got I think he's got the Surface Pro 1 or 2, not exactly sure, or maybe the 3. But the 4 kind of like catching my eye because I kind of like that, the concept of that. And and for me and many other people that's a little bit more business minded, more entrepreneurship minded, we the types that like to have something to be on the go. You know what I'm saying? It's the closest thing. And even, not only that Surface Pro 4, but also that Microsoft Surface Book. And they really bitch slapped Apple with that one. They really bitch slapped Apple with that. Because that Surface Pro Book is just, it's sweet. It's a sweet looking device. But the price for it, it's up there. No doubt. The price is up there. I cannot argue with that. The price is very, very, very much up there. Talking like at least like what, 1,300-1,400, something like that. It's pretty much up there for people, but it's a nice looking device. I'm not gonna lie about that. I mean, those are 2 or 3 of the best best 2-in-1 tablets right there. The portability, pretty much like, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read the specs for you on the Tab Pro S. Let me just start off with that one. With the Galaxy Tab Pro S, this might be a Christmas present for me. We're looking at a 12-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED touchscreen. It's running an Intel Core M3 6Y30. You're gonna have 4 gigs of RAM, as well as 128 gig of SSD or storage, which basically is gonna give you, like, the battery on there is gonna give you like 10.5 hours of battery life, and it comes with the keyboard, by the way, which is detachable. I mean, the thing about with Samsung, what they've been doing, and this is built off the design off the S series and the Note series, the thinness and the design on it. I mean, the tablet itself weighing at a mere 1.5 pounds and a slight 0.25 inches thin. So, like, that means it's easy for portability. No doubt about it. You can slip it in your backpack. You can slip it in your little shoulder bag, and, like, you know, and take it right there with you. I mean, and plus on top of that, the best thing is running full Microsoft Windows 10. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I run that on my home PC, and I used to run Linux a lot too, and I still love Linux, but you know, like, but Microsoft really opened my eyes up to the Windows 10 platform. And I'm gonna tell you like that, Microsoft, Bill Gates, fellow Scorpio, thank you. Maybe open to me. I find that more convenient for me than I do iOS, because I ain't gonna lie, even back in the day, back during the early 2000s, late 90s and all that, I kind of like wanted to get into the Apple thing and all that, wanted to buy an iMac, because, you know, I was like everybody else. I was thinking it was the hottest thing to have. It was the shit. Two things. For one, they were never gonna come down on that doggone price. $1,500 for an iMac desktop, or like $3,000 for a MacBook or MacBook Pro. That's ridiculous. So I stick with my favorite brand, which is HP, and I've been dealing with them for like 12 years, and they showed me nothing but love. So kudos to Hewlett Packard for doing their thing. But let's get on to this, like, with the Tab S Pro. I mean, the keyboard, it comes with it. I think that's what makes it more better, a little difference price wise between that and the Surface Pros, because Samsung say no, it comes with the keyboard, and I like everything on it though. I love everything on it. You know, audio is integrated, video Intel HD graphics 515 with shared graphic memory. It's got a USB Type-C 3.1 port, which is used for charging. Headphone output, microphone input combo. 5 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel front facing camera. 802.11 ABGN and AC. Miracast enabled. Bluetooth 4.1. Like I said, the fully sized detachable keyboard cover with NFC. Got the touchpad, which is on point. Shoot, it's no doubt. It's one of the best, and everybody's giving it like 4 or 5 stars or better. You know, but the one thing, 2 things about it, I think Samsung could follow up on this, and it's selling pretty well from what I'm told. On this, and this is where, to me, I kind of like favor the Surface Pros, the Surface Pro 4 in the book and the Surface Pro 3. Samsung, if you're listening, the next version of the Tab Pro S, have a backlit keyboard. That's a plus. You know, that would be a plus. Now, another thing too, for some people, will probably be, and this is where the Surface Pro 4 also shines at too. I'll jump on that later. It have expandable storage, micro SD slot. But like with my case, like I got a Western Digital My Cloud at home, so I got 4 terabytes of storage. Sorry about that, folks. I got 4 terabytes of storage at home to go ahead and back it up, and plus it syncs with my OneDrive, so it's more than perfect. But that little micro SD expandable storage, that won't hurt either, Samsung. You know, and yeah, you know, if you're gonna make a keyboard with backlit keyboard, it should have something where it could be sort of similar but not close to the Surface Pro 4 tablet. And let me get to the Surface Pro right now, because I can't stop talking about this. But the Tab Pro S, I'm definitely still gonna get. That's not gonna change. I'm still gonna get that, because that's a bad boy there. That's a bad mamma jamma there. Like I said, when it comes to 2-in-1 tablets, I mean, like that Surface, hell, if I wanted to, I'll probably get both. Now the Microsoft store, they still selling the Surface 3 and as well, and the Surface Pro 3. Sorry about that. But the Surface Pro 4 was the one I want to talk about. That's the new thing. That's the hot thing. There's a lot of advantages with this that it has over the Tab Pro S. So I'm gonna just be honest with y'all about that. I mean, it comes with a 6th generation Intel Core M3 processor, 128 gig of storage, plus that micro SD card slot, 4 gigs of RAM. The display, 12.3 inch Pixel Sense touchscreen display. And here's something else. It comes with a pen stylus. That's included. Now Samsung has one for the Tab Pro S2, but that's sold separately. You can go to Samsung's website and get it like that for $80, but go to Amazon or eBay and you can get it cheaper than that. And it's both running Windows 10 Pro. Now here's something with now you got different configurations you can have for that too. The biggest one, you can throw Intel Core i5 in there, all the way up to 256 gig of storage, 128 and 256 gig, and the Intel Core i7, which is cool. But the i5 with the 266 gig will have 8 gigs of RAM, and the highest one, the Intel Core i7, there's 2 versions of that, which also had 18 gig, but you can upgrade it up to 16 gig. I mean, that's like running a full laptop. Let's just be honest with you on that. Now the keyboard, I believe, comes separately. That backlit, sexy, full Island keyboard that they have, that comes separate. But I'm gonna tell you like that, it's the price thing. It's the price thing. Because the Surface Pro 4 the base one gonna start you at least $900. But that Surface Book, that's not really even a tablet. That's more like a laptop. And when they did that to go head on with the MacBook Pro, the 13-inch. Cheapest price for that one is starting at like at $1,500. You know. That's how that one go. But I think it's detachable too. But you know, that's coming 6 gen core, Intel Core i5, 128 gig of storage. Basically same thing, but in this case with the Surface Pro Book, it's exactly what that is. It's a book, but it's reversible, flip over, that sort of thing like that. and it comes with the pen stylus just like anywhere else. If you ballers are willing to spend that type of bread for it, you go right on ahead. I ain't gonna stop you. The exterior casing on there is a magnesium alloy, silver color, physical buttons, volume, power button. Storage, you got the options of 128, 256, 512, and up to 1 terabyte. Now this is the Surface Book I'm talking about. The screen display 13.5 inches with a resolution of 3000 by 2000, that's 267 ppi, aspect ratio of 3.2, touch 10-point multi-touch. You got battery life is up to 12 hours video playback, and you got the i5 Intel HD graphics non-GPU, and the i5 i7 ones, if you get that one, it's got the NVIDIA GeoForce graphics. So, and on top of that, it comes with TPM chip for enterprise security, 2 full-size USB 3.0, full SD card reader, Surface Connect, headset jack, mini display port. The camera on it, front-facing camera 5 megapixel, rear camera 8 megapixel. Dual microphones front and rear, front-facing speaker with Dolby Audio, and you can't get any better than that. And like I say, all these run full Windows 10. Now this is serious right here. I know Pete, a person here that I know that he switched from a MacBook Pro 15 Retina and got this, and he loved it. But I swear, when it comes down to either of these three, it all comes down to price wise and common sense, and basically what you're going to use for it. If you need something that's going to be Windows accessible, but you the type that travel light, but you need the full keyboard and the full thing and like that, I say go with the Tab Pro S. But if you need something a little bit more intuitive, but you don't want to break the bank, then go with the Surface Pro 4. Get the entry level one if you want, or if you got the money to go ahead and upgrade to one that'll suit your needs. Now the Surface Book, yeah, sexy as it look and everything like that, that's just like a full little 13-inch laptop. And I already got a desktop replacement at home, so I really don't need to carry that though. But tablet just be white, light, but at the same time, I want to be productive. I need to get stuff done, whether I'm podcasting from wherever, live on location or whatnot, or I'm crunching numbers, I'm doing emails, I'm checking this and that like that, because I am the multitasker. I would go either the Surface Pro 4 or the Tab S Pro. But like I said, I will be taking a trip to the Microsoft store tomorrow, live at Aventura Mall from down here. But those are two things. Those are one of the things I hope I cover that though. Like if you want to know, listen to this episode again, you can always go to my Spreaker channel. That happens to be The Amazing Show, and you can download these episodes for free, or this one for free. But before I go ahead here and before I sign off, to be honest, before I sign off, I want to talk about one thing that's kind of been nipping me at the core. People often wonder and stuff why Apple stays so relevant, and Android may have the numbers as term as most handsets out there from different OEMs. The major one being Samsung, of course, because Samsung is Android, and Android is Android hands down. But the problem is why Android is not going to really get to the level like that of like with Apple. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm speaking as a Samsung Knight. I'm not only as a Samsung Knight, but also as a consumer, and also a consumer with common sense. Is that you got people out here that's go on social media, so-called YouTube tech bloggers, that has no brand loyalty whatsoever. They don't understand. I don't think they understand the meaning of the word loyalty. They jump from OEM to OEM, from one to the next, 1 year is HTC. The next minute is Motorola. The next minute is Huawei. The next minute is LG. Then the next minute is Sony. All this, and then try to go ahead and big up these 4 or 5 OEMs to try to go ahead to stay away from the 2 alpha dogs that's on the market, and that's Samsung and Apple. And yes, I'm saying Apple because you know why? Because numbers don't lie. But in this case, I'm not enough of the Apple puns though. But let's just get real here for a second. You know. And then what's even worse, you got some tech bloggers out here that do camera comparisons between the two. They go so far as to tweak one to make the other look better. As I've had witnessed on YouTube not too long ago. If it ain't doing that, they go ahead and big up a brand like ZTE. Nothing against them personally, and it's not a big up a phone from ZTE to try to take on the king of phablets, which really don't make no sense. I mean, a $99 plus tax, a $179 phone going up against the hottest thing smoking today, and that's the Note 7. Now, it's not a bad looking phone. Now, it's not a badly built phone, but the specs alone is laughable. That's okay for people who's on a budget. Just leave it at that. Tech bloggers need to quit lying so doggone much and misleading people just so you can get your subscriber base, your subscriber volume up. So you want to be popular with the quote-unquote so-called in crowd. This is why tech journalism is so messed up nowadays. And see, when you want to hear real facts from real people, like say some of the people over at Sam Mobile, like Deidre Richardson, who writes extremely great articles. And some people even over right now at The Verge now giving Samsung their props. And BGR. Both of them pro-Apple. Same thing with the guys in Forbes. But Forbes ain't really a tech site. They're just freaking Wall Street boys. So they have a vested interest with Apple because half of their investors are with Apple. But I'm not talking about them right now. I'm just talking about these so-called Google fanboys. And I think October 2nd or whatever, that Google supposed to come out with their Pixels. And now I'm hearing the crybabies whining like little girls, talking about the price and all that stuff. Look, you guys were crying about when the price dropped when the price for the Note 7 was $850. This is technology. Technology is all about moving forward, not going back. So therefore, the price of things are going to go up. When you buy home internet from Cox, Time Warner, Xfinity, or whatever like that, shoot, you want faster speeds, you gotta pay to play, player. That's just how it go. So stop your whining about your money, put your big boy panties on, and boss up and do what you got to do. You want the latest and the greatest, I'm saying like that, either do a career change or either get your money up. Because at the end of the day, this whole thing gonna come down to money. Now, a few of you guys who I'm talking about, I know y'all hate the Samsung Knights. So therefore, that means you got a problem with me, which in turn, I'm going to have a problem with you. But you know what? We talk with our wallets. What you talking with? Going here on social media just to go ahead to say some degrading and disrespectful things so you can get about 10, 15 likes. This ain't the playground. Grow up. A whole lot of y'all. You tech bloggers that's doing that, grow up. This Mr. O, I'm going ahead. I'm signing out. But before I do, I need some riding out music because some of you guys really make me sick. James, hit it.